What's good, everybody? It's DL Saint. It's time for DL Short. Hey, it looks like Trump Lux continues to grow. Wow. So you guys know about all the indictments that the former president is facing. Though the one case that I personally believe was the problem was the secret documents case, and that's being tried out of Miami. And it appears that the judge in that case has dismissed the entire case. Let's check out CNBC and listen to what they have to say about this.
Former president is arriving in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention just a day after he was targeted in that attempted assassination. Our Eamon Javers joins us with some breaking news. Morning, Eamon.
Good morning, Carl. That's right. The former president is here in Milwaukee, and he arrives to Milwaukee with a big win here in the courts just within the past couple of minutes. Federal Judge Aileen Cannon has now moved to dismiss the documents case against the former president of the United States. She's arguing here in this dismissal document that we just got, Carl, within the past minute, that the special counsel's appointment itself was unconstitutional. The judge says the bottom line is this: the appointments clause of the Constitution is a critical constitutional restriction stemming from the separation of powers, and it gives to Congress a considered role in determining the propriety of vesting appointment power for inferior officers. The special counsel's position effectively usurps that important legislative authority, transferring it to a head of department, and in the process threatening the structural liberty inherent in the separation of powers. So on separation of powers and Constitution.
All right, so you have it there, right? So that seems to be the reason why the judge ruled the way she did. I'm not in the legal field. I'm no legal scholar or anything like that. But when you read and listen to people who are, they pretty much tell you that this appeal was a long shot. It was a Hail Mary. Most people out there are saying, most of the legal folks are saying that this will absolutely get overturned. However, if it makes it to the Supreme Court, well, right, you know where the Supreme Court is right about now. And maybe there will be a chance that this will be upheld. However, that would have a ripple effect throughout the system with respect to appointing special counsel. So as it stands right now, the one case that, in my personal opinion, Donald Trump could not beat was the documents case. The documents case was dismissed by the judge in Miami on a technicality and has nothing to do with the merit of the case nor the prosecution's claims and stuff like that. There's a lot of articles out there, like, you guys really should give them a read. It talks about, it gets into the weeds, and it talks about how this particular case was in the right court with the right judge if you are on Team Trump. But if you're on the other side, it's a head scratcher. Like, wow, this judge really did this. Hey, man, it is what it is. If I were Donald Trump, man, I would go out right now and buy me a Super Lotto ticket. I think the last time I looked at it was around $200 million. I think he will win. If he would have bought one ticket, there'll be a one ticket winner. I think it would be him. Wow, his luck is continuing to hold. I think tonight at the Republican convention, Donald Trump will speak. This will be the first time he has spoken since the assassination attempt. I'm real curious to see his tone. You know, if I were sitting in the room with his PR people, with his campaign team, I would absolutely push that Donald Trump do his best to not be the Donald Trump of old. If Donald Trump can control his demeanor, come away from the bombastic stuff, stop texting wild stuff on X, stop saying random things to people and texting random things. If he can control that until November and only talk about positive things, come up with a platform better than that 2025 thing that's out there. If they come up with a real platform and Donald Trump gets up to speed on world events and what's going on here, I mean, and by that, I mean, just be up to speed enough to speak on it articulately, you know what I mean? Not like me, y'all know I can't talk, right? But to be able to convey to the American people that he has indeed changed, And I would absolutely play the religious card. You know, he came literally within this close of dying. Like maybe closer than that. I mean, he was like a hair's breadth away from not being here anymore. So kind of roll that up with some religious undertones, change up your demeanor only when the camera's on, you know, and I think that will take him a long way. He will certainly be able to ride that until November and capture maybe 3%, 3.5%, which will be more than enough to get him over the finish line against a Joe Biden. Now, we don't know what the Democrats are going to do on that side. Are they going to replace Joe Biden? They're going to put someone out there who would be a little more favorable to the, liberals, someone who would fire up the base and get the young kids out, especially. That remains to be seen. But if Joe Biden stays at the head of the ticket, which seems to be what's going to happen, and Donald Trump stays at the head of the Republican ticket, which is about to be made official here, I think tonight or at some point over this convention. If that happens, and if Donald Trump is able to come away from the Donald Trump of old and, kind of present a new and improved Donald Trump, one who's had an epiphany, one who has seen the light, and if he embraces kind of like a religious thing, I believe he'll be very, very hard to beat. Right now, if the election were tomorrow, I think Donald Trump would win, but I still don't believe he'll capture 50% of the vote because, half of the country, they're with him and the other half of the country is against him. I don't think that has changed, but those people in the middle, you might be able to grab 3 or 4% of those guys, because let's say that 45% of Americans are with Donald Trump, 45% of Americans are not with Donald Trump, right? That's 90%. So what are they really fighting over? They're fighting over that 10% right now. And if Donald Trump can get 6% of that vote, that'll be enough to carry him over, right? Again, I don't see Donald Trump getting to 50 and certainly not breaching 50%. He's just too unpopular, even after the assassination attempt. But he doesn't have to have that. All he needs to do is win over, 5.5% of the remaining votes out there of those people who are undecided or whatever. And that should be enough to push him over. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's a huge win for Team Trump out of Miami. The secret documents case was definitely a problem, in my opinion. That was the one case that I don't think he could have beat no matter what. It was just locked in. Bro, you talk about getting caught with your hand in a cookie jar. They had it all. So we'll see. And this ruling can be overturned on appeal, which it probably will be. But if it reaches the Supreme Court, who knows what might happen. So that's my take on that, guys. I hope you have a good Monday. I'm gonna try to get on and do a live at some point this week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see. So I'll be talking to y'all later, man. I'm DL Saint. Peace.